Hi, my name is Brandon.
Hi, I'm Akil Muhammad.
Yo, I'm Evan.
Hi, my name's Tyler.
Okay, so our mission statement is to make the world a better place by reducing global warming. And in this presentation, we'll show you how to do it.
The problem is that there's too much carbon dioxide and fossil fuel gases in the atmosphere. In addition, adding carbon dioxide to the atmosphere changes how much heat the Earth retains. Global warming causes climate change because the distribution of heat changes how our complex climate works. In addition, we're adding too much to the atmosphere, too quickly for many living things to adapt.
All right. As you see here, we have our statistics. Annual crop production, TWH, which also stands for the unit of power equal to 1 trillion watts. Now, as you see here, back in 1981, we had 10,500 trillion watts. Back in that time, there wasn't a lot of coal being produced into the atmosphere, but it accelerated very quickly in 1990s. As you hear in 2000, it was at 20,000, but this is when the coal accelerated very quickly. In 2018, we went to 40,000 kilowatts. Now, as you see here, this is very bad for our atmosphere, and we should not be using this amount of coal. This is why we are trying to reuse carbon dioxide into our atmosphere to use it for energy instead of fossil fuel and nuclear power plants.
CO2 in the atmosphere and annual emissions, this is from about the 1700s to today. So as you could see, from about 1750 to 1900, it's about steady. It's been the same. The usage of CO2, of course. And as we rise up, you could see a steady incline. And then once you reach about 1970, that's when it just goes straight up. And this just shows how the usage of CO2 is not being used for the right stuff. That's why with our project, we're gonna take all this CO2 and make it into energy.
What is it? Direct air capture, DAC for short, is a largely theoretical technique in which CO2, otherwise known as carbon dioxide, and potentially other greenhouse gases are removed directly from the atmosphere. The current technique uses large fans that move ambient air through a filter using a chemical adsorbent to produce a pure CO2 stream that can be stored.
The technology. This is DAC technology. Pulls in atmospheric air through a series of chemical reactions. It extracts the CO2 by returning the rest of the air into the environment. Plants and trees do this. It's also called photosynthesis. Except DAC does it faster. On top of that, it's better because it delivers the carbon dioxide in a pure compressed form that can be stored underground or reused. This is a carbonate solution. Pulls through a series of chemical processes to increase its concentration, purify, and compress it, so it can be delivered in gas form for usage or storage. This involves separating the salt out of the solution in these small pellets, which we call pellet reactor. Now, these pellets are then heated in a third step called the calciner, which releases the CO2 in pure gas form. This step leaves behind processed pellets that are hydrated in a slacker and recycled back within the system to reproduce the original captured chemical. Now, there are other ways to reduce. The smartest and cheapest option is to reduce overall emission. But there's many possible ways to contribute to this by reducing our consumption, using current technologies more efficiently. Moreover, society can just convert into using more electricity-based generators and engines. All in all, transitioning into more of a society based around modern technology. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. We like to think we did good, but it got a little stressful though with all this stuff happening with Corona and all the work that they're assigning us. But yeah.